you through Jacob McLawler against Dave McCauley. But first of all, sit back and gain an insight into one of the most remarkable men in boxing at the moment. Chris Eubank with Reg Gutteridge.
Boxing has always been known to produce its characters, the ones who claim the big fight followers' attention, people who are different. Well, Chris Eubank certainly fills that category. He's champion, he's different, he's no past comparison with anybody else. He's totally single-minded, a bit stubborn, and with a strong chin and the skills to match. Chris, you started with an unusual way of turning professional in America, very difficult in the hotbed of New York and Atlantic City, and you had 5 fights. Why and how did that happen?
Why? Well, the reason for that was that I lived there, I went to school there for 3.5 years. I graduated in 1986. My parents thought it best for me to leave the British system I was in that I didn't get on in the schooling systems in this country.
Well, you were difficult then. You weren't really difficult then, were you?
Boisterous.
Boisterous.
Yeah. I've always been a little streetwise. They saw it fit for me also to start training in New York. I mean, basically, I needed to keep in shape, but they wanted my spare time occupied, and they paid $15 a month for me to join Jerome Boxing Club in the South Bronx, and it all started from there.
Well, it's certainly a hard start, I must say. And you won those 5 fights, of course. That takes some doing, even though they were just preliminaries in Atlantic City.
Well, the determination was strong. It still is. I mean, I had put a lot of time into learning the basics. I'd gone through the amateur ranks, winning the Spanish Golden Gloves, getting to the semi-finals in the Golden Gloves. One wanted to be successful, you know, and I had that drive. I still have that drive.
I certainly don't doubt that, I must say. How about managers? You've had a few, haven't you? Why did you change them like that?
Well, the first, Adonis Torres, he passed away in 1987, October of 1987. He taught me a lot of the skullduggery, what goes on in this business. The rest was through experience. You know, I've met up with a lot of people who want to give you less than what you're worth, and I've experienced the fact that it's a very dirty, hard business, you know. I mean, the craft of it, actually doing it is very hard, and the business section of it is twice as hard, you know.
Yes, obviously it's harder in the ring and sometimes outside, I agree with you. Your first fight in Britain was in February '88 against Darren Parker, but he only lasted 1 round. So the big test came, I thought, against Anthony Logan, the Jamaican who had put Nigel Benn on the floor. So what was your reaction to that when you finished the fight on your knees, if you remember?
Yes, I do. Well, I knew I had I'd taken his best shot in the 2nd round. I knew that all the years I had been thinking, I know my chin is good, I confirmed it on that night, you know, 8th of February 1989. From there, I knew that I was going to go places in boxing.
He's a very handy fighter, Eubanks. So 1 minute's gone in the last round then. 3-minute durations. And notice that pumping of punches from the white trunk to Eubanks there again. Hogan's got sort of fights with the mouth open, Jim, with an expression on the face that he's in more trouble sometimes than he really is, doesn't he? He adds to it by his expression.
Yeah, he has that look at it, but I think now Eubanks is feeling the pace a little bit. I expected a big drive from Eubanks in the last round, but he just lost a little bit of that enthusiasm, just running out of steam slightly.
Minute to go.
Eubanks has definitely landed more punches, Jim, and if that's the name of the game, he's won it, and it hasn't been warned for hitting with the inside of the glove at all as we get into the last half minute. Referee, the sole arbiter, as they say, no judges in British preliminary or championship fights, save for world and European. So there's, and I think Dave Parris, the referee, always get the decision right away because they tot as they go along. And there it is. And he's giving it to Simon Eubanks, who hesitated for a minute there. Eubanks as if to say, are you really going to give it to me? And the expression there, how do you describe that? One of shock, I would think. But he now knows that he's hit the jackpot in many ways.
You decided then, if I remember, to join the Barry Hearn Matchroom team. Why him in particular, and did you sort others out or not?
I went to every manager you can think of in this country, all of them, and none of them showed me any interest. They all wanted me for less than what I was worth. I had already beaten Anthony Logan, who was rated 16 in the WBC. It was only my 12th fight. I was a novice in comparison to Anthony Logan at the time. I had proved myself, you know. I had proved I would definitely make at least British champion, but still they would not give me what I was worth. They told me, you know, one said to me, I'm not a sugar daddy, I'm not going to buy you a flat. You're going to have to go out and work, I'm not going to give you a wage. You're going to have to do it the hard way. And I said to him, forget it, you know. And I'm sure today he's biting his tongue, you know. Just like Frank Warren, just like Frank Maloney, just like Barney Eastwood. I went to every one of them, you know. And they all kept me waiting, and they all took too long. I went to Barry Hearn. He saw that I had the potential. He saw that I had the frame of mind, and we shook hands the first day we met, you know. And it's all gone uphill from since then.
And at the weigh-in at lunchtime today, Randy Smith in the gold shorts from Chicago, Illinois, weighed in at 11 stone, 8.5 pounds. Chris Eubanks, the unbeaten Brighton boxer, weighed in at 11 stone, 10 pounds. He's in the white shorts.
My character in the ring, the performer, he's eccentric, he's outgoing, he's an extrovert. He's strange, but that's what he is, you know. He's not an actor. He doesn't pretend. He performs in the way his body tells him to perform. He performs in the heat of the moment.
So as we go into the last round, round 10. And this really has been a very good performance from Chris Eubank this evening. As long as Chris Eubank maintains his concentration, he's got this fight well in the bag. Chris Eubank certainly has gone through a lot of work in these 10 rounds here this evening, and he's never let his work rate drop. He's never let his concentration wander, despite what Randy Smith attempted to do. And at the end of 10 rounds, Larry O'Connell has no doubt whatsoever in raising the arm of Chris Eubank.
I think you won every round here, don't you, John?
I don't think there's any doubt about it. 10 rounds, all to Chris Eubank.
Definitely, yeah.
Well, I've had 28 fights, and I've jumped over the rope 28 times, you know. I was told to do this by my first manager, Adonis Torres. He said to me, it always attracts the eye of the crowd, you know, and that's very important. And the judges, because you also have to impress them.
That's a good shot.
Well, every time Eubanks lands a good shot, it seems to spur Ron Malik on. And he comes back. invariably gets on a couple of good digs of his own. Strong man.
Very, very strong. Durable character. But class will tell.
I can imagine that Chris Eubanks is the sort of fighter who could really now cause a stoppage in this fifth.
I think
now he's got his man on the hook. Is he going to let him off? The American goes down. Roy Francis has seen enough, and that's a wise and humane stoppage in this fifth. It was the left hand that did the damage, and that's win number 16 out of 16 for Chris Eubanks from Brighton. Kamara, Jean-Noel Kamara looking so apprehensive. Oh! And right out. Right out. If he gets up, I don't think Dave Paris will let it go on. No, he doesn't. That's it. That's quite enough.
That was a devastating performance by Eubanks. What can one say?
Eubank again wrestled his man to the canvas, but he's got to realise, Chris Eubank, that if he does get careless and hangs his chin out, he could pay very dearly, as Melfa can take you with a single shot. Eubank's dignity clearly stung by those rights. He's got him with the right hand, and he's down. And Melfa is going to struggle to beat this count. He's counted out. The legs are like jelly. And in the fourth round, Chris Eubank makes it win number 18 out of 18. Bang. Knockout. And Cronin can take you out with a shot.
Oh, he's in trouble now. That was a good right hand from Eubank.
Roddy Evans has seen enough. And that's a good stoppage.
You then earned a crack at your first title, the WBC International, which is for those rated above the top 10. And the opponent was the Argentine middleweight Hugo Corti. That was at London's Earthy York Hall at Bethnal Green. What did this mean to you, Chris?
It was a championship fight. It was a way Barry Hearn saw fit for me to enter into the television screening of fights. I saw it as a stepping stone for other titles, and that victory was very important to me. You know.
This is a better round for the challenger, and two beautiful left hands once again test the champion's durability, and once again the champion is not found wanting.
Yeah, Chris got through the right hand and the left hook that time, and the guy still standing and coming back with good shots of his own, so full credit to the champion.
Haven't even looked like wobbling him yet.
But another good round for Chris Eubank in the scoring stakes.
Yes, he's coming back strong in this round. He's taking this round so far. Eubank moving in for the kill now. And Corti, from looking iron-jawed, now looks gone.
He's in big trouble. I don't know how long's left in this round, but Eubank is a ruthless finisher.
We asked, how good is Chris Eubank? And we're finding out.
He's going for the big one now.
The gum shield is gone, and he's in awful trouble. And boy, oh boy, saved by the bell.
That, even in those days, the critics didn't give you too much credit, did they? A fellow called Contreras. What do you have to say about that?
It's quite the contrary. It was a very good performance. He was a very evasive, very hard-chinned fighter. You know, it wasn't he wasn't too good in the artillery department, but he put up a very good fight for me, and I know that it was a very good performance, regardless of what the critics say. The critics, they don't have to do my job, and so they take it lightly, you know. If they had to do it, then they'd think differently, you know. It's wicked for you not to give me good reviews, you know. All I can do is fight. This is a spontaneous thing. We are in there and we are doing a job, you know, and whatever happens, happens, you know. But whatever happens, you should give us credit, you know.
Yeah, it's a question of, you know, you can't lay eggs, but you know whether the eggs are good or bad, really. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if when you finished your career, you actually finished up a critic. I think it'd be quite a good one.
No, not for me. I want nothing to do with this game of boxing.
Well, a critic of something else, I mean.
Well, I'm not really, I'll tell you the truth. I'm not really interested. I don't want to get involved in other people's lives. That's not for me. You know, my mind wants to be free of all these things in the world. I'm going to go about and study. Maybe I'll study, maybe I'll travel. I probably will do both. To be involved in other people's lives is not something that I want to stay around, you know.
Now we're back on to the other defence of that WBC International against Kid Milo, a tough nut from the Midlands, isn't he? And still is. But again, you took a bit of stick from the critics because you were asking the referee to stop it, and he wouldn't. They did eventually, of course.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think the referee should have stopped it from about the 4th round. He had 2 cuts, which were cuts of which other referees would have stopped it. I caught him in the 6th round with a right hand. He staggered. I could have followed up, but I had no animosity towards Kid Milo. Kid Milo was very respectful towards me. He didn't speak to me. He understood that he had a struggle on his hands, and I respected that.
I don't think Milo can believe his luck. Finished the job, somebody behind me shouting. Well, that was stupid on Eubank's part.
Very much so. He had the fella out on his feet, and he really should have went in and landed the 1, 2, 3, which was a false error, coming to step in and stop the fight.
Glorious right-hander, right flush on the side of the jaw. Milo helpless on the ropes, and what does Eubank do? Walks away. Well, we'll fool him.
Let's hope we don't live to regret it.
I don't think he will somehow, Jim, because Milo's eye looking worse by the second as this 6th round progresses.
Sure, it's only a matter of time before the referee stops this contest. He is badly cut now, well behind, and Chris is absolutely buzzing. Treating him with contempt, which, as I said before, if you're going to be a champion, the arrogant, the contemptness, call it what you like, you've got to have it. Because Eubank has got it in abundance. But he really could have ended the fight there, Dave, you know, tremendous right hand, and Milo was gone.
We'll take another look at that right-hander at the end of this round, presuming that the fight is still alive at that time. Milo waving Eubank forward. Brave man. It's getting a little bit silly there. That looks very bad.
Yeah, really no way back from that. It's a terrible cut in a fight against a man of Eubank's class. It's hard enough without the injuries. But now things are really looking desperate. And it's behind as well.
Now let's take another look at that incident early in the round. Now, bang, there goes the right hand. And Milo is gone.
Yeah, let's take our hat off to Milo, you know, a real professional. Stuck to his guns all the way through against a world-class operator. And at no stage has he wanted to quit or get out. He's really tried to take the title from Eubank. And in a title fight, it's exactly what you've got to do. You've got to go for it. He's starting to ship 1 or 2 shots now. Eubank is getting very, very accurate. Eubank would like to end it in style, obviously.
Eubank hasn't hardly wasted a punch in this contest. There's a surgical precision about them. All you have to do is look at poor Kid Milo's face to realise quite how hard and how accurately Eubank punches.
Good shot from both fighters there. The quality stuff was really coming from Eubanks, free short stuff, but the quantity was coming back from Milo. He'll take away after this fella.
The eye bleeding freely, as it has done for the last 3 or 4 rounds.
I think it's all over now. It's a good decision by the referee.
That's it, as we suspected he would.
It's nice to see all the comradeship has been brought back in there. Both guys touch gloves. Good decision by Larry O'Connell.
There was nothing wrong with your punching power in the next fight against the South American called Dos Santos. He didn't last long.
No, he put himself up there. He was straight up, you know. And I had been practicing a punch in the gymnasium, overhand right, and he was right in the right position, and reaction took its place on the punch.
You do consider that you do have a payoff punch when you need it, Chris, do you? Not against anybody. There's always difficult guys. I mean, even Tyson, Joe Lewis, all of them, they couldn't knock everybody out.
No, and sometimes the punch isn't there. Sometimes you have the punch in your artillery, but it just doesn't work. It just won't come out properly. I don't know why. It's just that way, you know. Sometimes you have ups and downs in accordance to your punching ability.
I know you've asked me to say what I thought of you as a boxer. How about you assessing yourself first, before I either agree or disagree with you?
I'm not that good, but when I compare myself to other fighters, I'm brilliant.
Well, when you say you're not that good, whom would you say was better than you then, or in the past, if you like, if you don't want to do a contemporary one?
No, that's for you to decide. That's not for me to decide. I've made my statement.
This is where you're boxing clever, if you'll forgive the expression, isn't it,
Yeah,
at this point?
course.
Well, that's fair enough. I mean, you can't knock a winning record. That's the thing I do admire about you.
That's right. Getting the job done is what is most important.
It's, you know, it's like golf, really. It's not how, it's how many. You know, you do it in the end all the time, don't you? How long do you think that will go on? Do you have any fear of losing like that?
Of course. I mean, it's inevitable that I have to lose one day. This is life. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. In this game here, you can control that to some extent, but the law of averages say that one day you must come unstuck. This I am prepared for, in as much as I pray to the Lord, and I ask him for the strength to accept that when it does happen.
What style of boxer do you think could do that, Chris?
Style?
Yeah, what type of boxer would have a chance to beat you? I mean, you're very frank about everything else.
Well, I won't answer that question specifically. What I will say is that you have to excel in at least one department.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what department. You have to excel in that department. Michael Watson, my next opponent, he does not excel in any one department. He is plain, methodical, and one-dimensional. He's not able to excel in any one department. This is why this type of fighter will never beat me.
Which department, as we're getting on to the Nigel Benn fight now, the one that, you know, tremendous atmosphere, wasn't it, at the NEC in Birmingham? I mean, unbelievable atmosphere.
You know what I always say to that? I wish I was there.
What, to watch it? Yeah, you played
I wish I was there. I wasn't there.
You didn't see it, didn't feel it all?
Nope, I wasn't there.
Dangerous.
So round one, here we go.
Chris has got to keep his hands up. He's going to be unloading Ben.
But he does not want to get trapped in the corner.
That's right. He's come back himself, Chris. A couple of good hooks. Got to get those hands up. Ben is going gunning for him. No messing about here. No fancy boxing. It's just slam bang.
Well, we've yet to really ever discover whether Eubank can take a shot tonight. We will find out if he can.
We certainly will.
And remember, 13 of Ben's fights have ended inside a round. And a further 8 in round 2. This guy does not hang about.
Good right hand from Eubanks. Good right hand. Very good.
And that hurt Ben.
Listen, Ben's legs are shaking. This is trouble for him here. Here we have Chris smiling at him again. He's got to do it all tonight. Definitely hurt Ben with that right hand. But he's got to keep his hands up. That's when Ben's at his most dangerous.
Well, Ben has been telling us all for weeks, or Eubank, I should say, has been telling us all for weeks. Ben is tailor-made for him. We shall see. Not a bad first round for the challenger.
Absolutely not. He certainly is shaking down. Another right hand is
Got
shaking.
through again.
This is exciting stuff. What an atmosphere, I'll tell you. Eubanks is growing in confidence. He's got to keep those hands up because if Ben clips him, he'll know all about it.
Well, Ben's 2 world title victories against Aaron Barkley. Doug DeWitt against fighters arguably past their best. Eubank isn't, that's for sure. And any flaws that Eubank can find in Ben, you can bet your life will be ruthlessly exposed.
The one advantage he has over Ben is he's 2 years younger and he certainly is fresher. But he's got to keep those hands up. I'm a bit worried that he's inclined to drop his hands. He landed a good right hand. He's definitely won this first round, no question about that. I'm surprised at Ben. He's just coming loading up with every shot. He's not trying to box, not trying to jab. He's just coming in there, walking straight in, slam bang. Every punch is a knockout punch. He hasn't learned by his mistake with Watson.
Well, that's the Ben way.
You must not forget that one of those punches can end the fight. So just keep your eyes on this one. This is going to be a good one way or the other.
Now that's got the Marquis of Queensbury spinning. Richard Steele has none of it. Oh, good right.
Eubanks is very accurate with that right hand. He's smacking him right down the pipe every single time. Ben's starting to use the jab now. That's what he's got to do to beat Eubanks.
End of the first round, definitely the challenger's round.
Here we go with all the posing.
Well, a huge entourage in the Ben corner.
He's not bothering to sit down. This is silly. He should be taking advantage of every second of the break. Unprofessional of him.
Eubanks enjoying a bit of gallery playing there, Barry.
Yeah, certainly is, yeah.
Exciting opening round for him.
Absolutely. That's given him the confidence that he's needed. I think up to now, the occasion has got him a bit. He's certainly, he's opened up with a tremendous first round, and he's won that one. Won it well.
By a long stretch. A lot of them have got any butterflies. They haven't wasted no time getting them out of their system.
Eubank having to dance.
Eubank tried the uppercut and come unstuck. Ben caught him on the counter. For a split second, he was in a little bit of trouble.
Tucking up. Living dangerously, the challenger.
And Ben's showing the power to walk through at the moment.
And he's taking a leaf out of Michael Watson's book, the champ.
This is a war. Good left hook. Ben's up. Ben's up.
And Eubank comes storming in.
Ben is in trouble. That was a brilliant left hook.
Champ on the ropes and taking punishment.
Big trouble. This is
comes back. This is what he did against Logan.
He's at his most dangerous now.
His legs are gone, Ben.
Eubanks has got him. There's big trouble here. This is it. Now what? Be careful.
This is what I was saying all along. Eubanks is accurate to get a man in trouble.
I'm a bit concerned if Ben starts going for the body. He's got to be careful for these first few rounds. Ben is at his most dangerous when he's hurt. Don't you forget that.
Eubank's small band of supporters in a definite minority, trying to get behind him, but Sips a good right hand and caught and in trouble, but fights back. This is some fight.
Eubanks was hurt, certainly hurt there. Ben is there's no question about it. Ben is an explosive hitter at short distance. No jabs, look, there's no jabs here at all. It's just a complete war. Slam bang.
If we wondered whether Eubank could take a shot, we're finding out tonight. He's talking to Ben now, taunting him. Come and hit me. Well, he's answered the argument so far about his chin.
Good body shot by Eubanks, and the switch with the left hook to the head. Again, the switching from one to the other, and they're both hurt continuously throughout the first 2 rounds. Incredible fight. We all said it would be exciting whether it lasted 3 rounds or 3 minutes or 12 rounds, and it certainly has lived up to that expectation so far.
Indeed. Eubank, a little swollen, high on the left cheek.
Eubanks looks the more tired of the two, and that's a beautiful right uppercut again. Every time
again.
Yes. Oh yes. Now you see, watch Ben when he gets hurt. Oh. Another right hand. Here we go. Look at this.
He really wants a war. Let's rumble.
Let's have a war here.
This man is lethal when he's hurt. He's like a wounded tiger. That's when it is at its most dangerous. And he has been caught with some good shots by Eubank, like that.
Left jab, good right hand return from Ben. It's a super fight. Another right hand from Eubanks. Left hook too. Good shot.
Something's got to give.
These are bombs, I'll tell you. Both fighters are tired, and this is only the 3rd round. They've been having a go at one another. There's no question about that.
The concentration on both of their faces, in their eyes, is something for everyone to look at and say, Jesus, look at that right hand. Oh, Ben showing what he's learnt in the States.
Ben smiles through the pain. Covers up. A lot of those shots are going on the arms or on the gloves. A few of them are getting through, though.
And Eubanks expending a lot of energy there as well. Quality punches as he was letting them go, but he's put a lot into it. We was all asking what Nigel's learnt in the States, but he showed there, he shook it off, done a little bit of possum playing, and still in the fight.
Ben's left eye closing, swollen. Cheek looking very puffy. Chris Eubank cut about the mouth. Well, you can't have bombs like this flying around without signs of damage.
Eubank knows how to pace out around as well. He's stealing the breather he needs right now, as you notice. Not throwing nothing, but still thinking, red alert. He needs to be. Ben's right in front of him.
The pattern emerging now. Eubank fighting in little clusters. About 15-30 seconds worth of activity. A little break. Good way of conserving energy when you're fighting at this pace. The body shot hurt.
It certainly did. It went right down to Chris's boots. That was a tremendous shot. This is a war. You know, boxing at this level, this is what it's all about. Skill, guts, pride, it's all there.
Eubank forced to hold for dear life.
He took a big right hand there, Dave. Bang on. But Ben's eyes come up alarmingly.
Yeah, the left eye.
And Eubanks knows it.
Round 8.
You can't say the fight's warmed up. It's been in top gear from round 1. I don't know how you've got it scored, Dave, if it's going to go to a decision, but it's got to be a very difficult one to score.
I've got Eubank a notch ahead, but if you were to argue the other way, I wouldn't disagree.
Now, Eubanks adopted the right policy, challenging for a world title. He's gone out there to try and take it off Nigel Benn. He isn't trying to steal it. The hunter has now been hunted at this stage of the game.
Ben is fighting like a true champion. He has taken an awful lot, and that eye damage is wicked. He's never been hurt as... Oh, right hand, and down!
Chris disputing that he got caught, but...
Compulsory 8. I don't know what Eubank was complaining about.
This is a war in every sense of the word.
Back comes Eubank, and back comes Ben.
Eubank keeping himself together under the sustained assault from Nigel Benn. Staying cool and calm and collected, which is very important for him to do. Coming back with good shots of his own as well. This fight certainly lived up to all the hype on Ballyhoo.
And more, and more.
Absolutely.
Crowd getting behind Ben.
Good right hand from Nigel there as well.
Eubank, composed.
Is he ever? But full credit to both fighters. They've both gone out there as one expected and lived up to everything they predicted.
Well, we had the first knockdown, remember, in this round. Ben down with the right. No, Eubank, I should say. Eubank, stop complaining, get on with the fight.
In Ben's corner, they're absolutely screaming frantically at him to come forward and throw shots. They seem to feel that Eubank is in a lot of distress. But Chris is the master of kidology.
The crowd, once again, bring up the chants of Nigel. Nigel.
A lot of venom being pumped out. The quality of the fight stayed top of the range right the way through.
I don't know why Eubank doesn't go straight back to his corner. It seems a daft thing to me.
Here we have the 9th round. These guys are in some condition. It seems like now Ben has had a round of success where he's put Eubanks on the floor and he's hurt him a couple of times, and he's now going in confidence. Eubanks has got to keep his composure, use the jab and hit Ben as he walks in, because he's only got the one eye. He can't see that right hand traveling over the top. If he disguises it with a left jab, he can cross the right hand very quickly and can end the fight, because both fighters are very, very tired.
And you start wondering now whether this might possibly go the full 12.
That's what Eubanks has got to do. Every time he hurts Ben, Ben stands on the ropes and calls him forward. He's got to stay away because he punches better from a distance, and he's much more damaging puncher from a distance, whereas Ben hits most devastatingly in close. He's a hooker and an uppercutter, and those body punches in close are just lethal. He's got to stay away and hit him from a distance. If you notice all the way through the rounds, Dave, the previous rounds, the only punches that have badly hurt Eubanks are the body shots. Even the one in the last round that put him down, he still shook off the effects of it, but it's the body punches that have been hurting him up to now. He's got to keep him at distance and he won't get hit with those body shots.
Next door, keep winging in. Eubank complaining to referee Richard Steele, still having none of it.
This is the sort of a fight that makes you an old man. There's only so many of these fights left in anybody. And let's not forget that Nigel Benn has had quite a few wars in the last 2 years. So are we saying that Eubanks is fresher at this stage? I don't know, I'll tell you. Condition of both fighters is tremendous.
Oh, that was a slip. No knockdown. No knockdown. Just a slip.
Good refereeing from
Eubank scoring well with the jab this round.
Oh, right.
Oh,
this is it.
Gone.
This is the end of it.
Gone.
This is the end. referee's got to step in soon.
Ben trying to come back. I think
And
this is
he's
a
in big
desperate
trouble.
round for the champion, who's so tired.
He's really at 6s and 7s here. He's in big trouble. Eubanks has got to take this opportunity. Here we go. Is this
It's all
the end of the
over.
fight?
It's all over. He said what he would do, and he has gone out and done it.
I hate to say I told you so, but I did say it would be a late round stoppage for Chris Eubanks, and I'm right.
And what a difference it is with winner and loser. Consolation there for Ben. And in the middle there, Barry Hearn saying, well, this is the night for you, and the Boxing Board of Control Secretary, John Morris, with him as well. An absolute turn-up for the book in betting terms. Well, we just didn't know how good this fellow was, and he's turned out to be good, and here's the presentation, MC's announcement. It looks as though he's been injured through the tongue. He's got a cut and he's been in a bit of pain, but he's still willing to talk. And what a great night. And watching in slow motion now, there were some of us who thought, well, did he stop it a fraction too early? It was at the end of the round, but when you watch it there, no. The legs had buckled, and Richard Steele, one of the best-known American referees, is poised there, ready to dive in. And from the other angle, you can see why. And that's it.
I beat him on determination. Karen, I told you I'd do it. Well, I was supposed to do it, but I knew I'd do it. He was good, but yeah, I stuck with it, and he hurt me bad, man. But he's good. I told you my chin is cast iron. I told you they couldn't touch it. If anyone can touch somebody's chin, it's Nigel Ben.
Disconsolate for Ben, but, well, with him, I bet he'll be back. And that's it, the moment of triumph then, and there are bigger things to come now, surely, for Chris Eubank.
One always has doubts. That is why fighters are courageous. We challenge the unknown, you know. If there is something which is a difficult task, you know, that's where I will aspire. I will always rise to that occasion. Doubts. I had my doubts, but I understand in life that one should always put the negatives behind the positives. Always bring the positives out, because they're always there, you know. The negative is always saying that, no, you know, this is too much for you. This guy's too big. He's too powerful. The positive will always say quietly, you know, you do the right thing. You train the correct way. You believe in yourself, and you can do it. But he's very, you know, the confidence and the positiveness is very quiet. What one is to do is always put that positiveness in front of that negativeness, you know.
Yeah.
This is how one gets somewhere in life, you know.
Now, your first title defence was against the Canadian Dan Sherry in your hometown now of Brighton, and yet again we brought in more controversy. You really can't keep away from it.
Santori checks with Sherry. Is he all right?
Eubanks has got to stay on him. Come on now, Chris.
He's almost out on his feet, the Canadian.
This fight is not going to last much longer.
I've always said about that headbutt that it was the most expensive impulse I've ever had.
£10,000, was it?
Yes, it was. Yes. I didn't think, you know. I knew I had this fellow out, you know. I knew I had cracked something in his mouth area, and I saw the blood drip in. I know he was exhausted. I always say, I watch it on tape and I say, don't bite him. You've got him. Another 5 seconds.
Yeah.
All I had to do was actually reach him with a right hand, what didn't fall over to his left side. If it would have fallen to his right side, he wouldn't have been able to get behind me.
Mm.
And it was out of wanting to actually work, you know. He got behind me and he put his hand around my stomach and he pulled me in, and he was behind me, and you know, I was infuriated, and the impulse was get off of me, you know?
Yeah.
Now...
Had you done it with your backside or your back, it would have been all right, wouldn't it?
Yes.
It was the movement of the head.
But it was so close in that
yeah.
he pulled... You see, the only thing I could do was move my head.
Yeah.
And I moved my head backwards now. If I would have thought for a second, 2 seconds, I'm a prudent person. I'm sensible. I'm not stupid. I'm not an idiot, you know. If I would have thought for 1 second, 2 seconds, I wouldn't have done it, you know. He's a good boxer. He's southpaw, he has good skill. He'll do very well, but not against the type of man who is strong-willed, and understands the business, the craft of boxing, you know.
Stretch is in big trouble now. He really doesn't know where he is. And Eubanks, if you look at the
legs are gone. He's gone. He's out of the ring. He's almost on top of us. We're seeing the end. He's up at 8.
The bravery of Gary Stretch.
No, it's all over.
Stop the contest.
It's finished. The Stretch dream is over.
First time I've seen Barry Hearn in action there. He caught that guy with the throat. Absolutely fabulous. Fast on his feet too.
I tell you, Barry Hearn looks more tense than Chris Eubank is. There's Ronnie Davis in a yellow tracksuit with a championship belt.
You can't knock Eubanks for being positive. Look at that. He's really, really being a positive mental attitude like you've never known with any other fighter. Tremendous confidence.
This is quite an entrance, I tell you.
Unbelievable.
Well, whether you like him or whether you hate him, you must admit the guy has got class. The guy has got style. And I'm looking at Michael Watson now. He's not too impressed.
You can see Watson. He's going to turn this into as much of a grudge fight as he can. He'll look right at Eubanks when he gets in there.
Here he comes. Into the corner above us. Over the top rope as normal. 27 wins out of 27 fights, 27-0.
This is something I was telling you about before, Dave. This is Chris, his stature. He'll stand completely still, and he feels he's in control of every situation going on around him.
I pity Michael Watson. He has no frame of mind. He has no point of view. He's quite plain, and I pity him for that, you know, for anyone who has nothing to say of any importance. Dislike, no, dislike is the wrong word. You know, I don't have time to dislike people, especially people like him. It's a waste of time.
You can just dismiss them, can you?
Oh, yes, and I do. He's strictly an obstacle of which I must get past in order to enhance my standard of living.
This fight is going to answer a lot of questions about both fighters. Has Michael Watson got over the McCallum defeat? Remember, he took a terrible pounding. He's beaten Errol Christie. He's beaten a guy called Brown from Trinidad. And he's beaten a guy that was like a blown-up welterweight from Australia so far in his comeback. But he hasn't really been tested yet. So this fight will prove whether he's still got it in him to win a world title.
So far, Chris will be pleased with the way things are going.
This is not a bad round, this for Eubank. Just about shading this one. Landed some good combinations. And it'll suit him down to the ground if Watson comes forward. So, if you like, the first tactical battle won by Chris Eubank, the champion.
Eubanks is his ever-present cool self.
And the spray flew off Michael Watson's head then as that left got through.
Fascinating battle. You can almost see them trying to outthink each other. Tremendous.
Chess with gloves, this is. And you can forget all the bull and the hype pre-fight about them not respecting one another, because they do and they do now. And Michael Watson has taken a couple of good shots.
There was good shots as well, Dave. Bang on.
very accurate.
Well, if we wondered how much Mike McCallum did take out of him tonight, we will find out. Eubank so cool.
It's a game of physical chess here. They're trying to outscore one another, outthink one another, and it's whoever breaks the other tactics first, whoever breaks his way of thinking. Oh, what a right hand!
From Eubank.
That was the best shot of the fight, Dave. What a right hand. Fantastic.
And that was out of nowhere. That was so quick, and you saw Watson's knees just wobble.
Already Watson's left eye is swelling. That was a superb shot. Absolutely beautiful shot.
And indeed, a little swelling starting to appear on Watson's left cheek. But he took that shot very well.
Indeed he did. That was a superb right hand. That's been Eubank's best shot. That right hand has hit him right on the money. Every single one of them landed right on the button. And that's the problem. You see, Watson's got to come forward and use those body shots, but he runs the risk of getting nailed with that right hand, and he has done all night long, but that's the most severe right hand he took so far. And all the time Eubank's confidence is gone, but he can't get too cocky. He can't allow Watson to come back and score and flick with punches. And Watson is, you know, he's a hell of a fighter. Oh, beautiful left hook. This is a superb fight.
When Eubank gets you on the hook, he doesn't let you off too often. Watson says, you want to rumble? Fine by me. Good fight.
Bloody brilliant fight there. What a fight.
Well, I most definitely took the first 5 rounds. My best round were the first 5. You know, those rounds, as far as I was concerned, I'd done what I intended to do. I needed to outbox him, then I was going to dismantle him and then knock him out. I'd done the first part of it, then nothing else worked because I ran out of strength.
Tremendous round this.
What a cracking fight. No good looking out the ring, no one's going to help you now.
Eubank does look in a little bit of trouble in this round.
He certainly is.
He's going.
I think the tiredness has finally crept in. The body shots have paid their price, which has been taken all through the fight. Now it's down to will to
He's
win.
looking a little bit wobbly now, as Chris Eubank. And Watson's looking desperately tired as well.
But Watson's still forcing the pace. Chris has got to dig in and wants to retain his title. The quality's coming out of his work now, and he's just getting sloppy and throwing shots for the sake of throwing them.
The 10th round, my legs were knotting up on me, cramps, from bottom to top, you know, and I was very unsteady. You know? Now, if he was any type of the fighter that he says he is, then it's at that time I was there for the taking.
Watson, a smear of blood under his nose, blowing, tired, but not as tired, I fancy, as Chris Eubank is right now.
Well, he hasn't taken many clean shots in the last 3 or 4 rounds, and he's landed some good ones, in particular those left hooks to the body. Little sharp, hooky shots to the body, and they've been really hurting Chris. Chris has got to pull it out of the bag now. Good right hand. Another one, beautiful shot.
Eubank pouring it on, but he's too tired to press on that advantage. A little flurry, and then Watson it is who comes straight back.
And Watson's not that badly hurt, Dave. He was stunned by that shot, but not badly shaken. Again, he's moseying forward, shuffling his shoulders, not throwing punches, but shuffling his shoulders. And that's going to look impressive to the judges. This is a very, beautiful left hook from Eubanks. Good finish to this round. Yes, good right hand. What a fight. Oh, another clubbing right hand around the side.
I tell you, both these boys are drained right now.
Absolutely exhausted.
Watson still needs to dig in if he wants to nick this title. Chris has let a lot of shots go. They haven't been that accurate, but he's let them go.
Well, Watson has hardly taken a backward step in this fight. You can't separate them in this last round either. And a microcosm, if you like, the quality shots from Eubank, the quantity from Michael Watson.
Storming fight, absolutely brilliant.
Worthy of a world championship, this.
No wonder people were sitting on the fence and predicting a winner. Good right hand from Watson that time.
You give one, you take one.
Both fighters fighting on an empty tank now, no doubt
A last rally from Eubank. Showboating. Charismatic to the last, this man.
Watson pushing it, still tasting the title, but Chris as cool and composed, I must say, as ever, even though he's absolutely shattered and has been for the last 3 rounds. He really is tired now, Chris. He'll be glad to hear the bell.
That's Eubank finishing the title with a 2. Watson, jab, 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 jab. That's how you get points. That's what wins you rounds. Eubank, a last lung-shattering effort.
What a brilliant fight.
One of the best, Jimmy, one of the best.
This guy. This is one of the best I've seen for a long time. Both guys are going to think they've got the title. Now it's up to the judges.
The winner and still
he's got it.
Champion of the world.
Eubank has retained his title.
I must be on the ball come the 21st of September. I must be at least 75–85% ready for this fight, of which I will be. He will be all he can be, and I will be all I can be. And there will be a struggle, and one man will win. And I believe that to be me, and I'm here to prove my belief.
Well, it's a fight by public demand. I'm sure that we're all really looking forward to it, and we'll discover which one that night is simply the best.
Right.
Screen Sport. Sport. More choice. More
Well now, Pro Box, and another chance to see last night's WBO Super Middleweight Championship fight between Chris Eubank and Michael Watson.